Hello friends, I am RM Guru, working as Assistant Professor in Civil Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. Today we are going to see the module number 6, that is regarding the bridge project. As you all know that the bridge is constructed across the river, and for that we are supposed to collect the data in view of the location of bridge site. So therefore we require the data to be collected in the form of type of soil, availability of electricity, availability of skilled and unskilled laborers, hydrological data, and available construction material. So when we consider the type of soil, then in that we require necessary information about the soil type and its condition by the geologist or engineer, and should ensure that the soil bed confirms the IS for the particular bridge construction. Similarly, in case of availability of electricity, the ample amount of electricity and its resources and substitutes should be made available in the construction of bridge site. Also, when we consider the availability of skilled laborers and unskilled laborers, then the construction of different component of bridges needs different type of laborers, and accordingly we have to see that whether the availability of skilled and unskilled laborers are available within the area or not, and if not, then they have to be brought from the outside, and we have to consider the additional amount towards the transportation of laborers. Then in the hydrological data, the collection of information about the rainfall, runoff, infiltration by soil, evaporation and velocity of soil, etc. has to be seen. Then the availability of cost of construction material. So more than ample amount of construction material should be available at all times. So this should be very much essential in order to maintain the economy of construction of bridge. After getting the data necessary for bridge location, we have to do the field survey, and in the field survey the highway alignment is finalized in a highway project. For that, the engineering surveys are to be carried out, and these surveys are carried out in 4 stages. The first 3 stages consider all possible alternative, that is various requirement of highway alignment, and 4th stage is meant for detailed survey of selected alignment, which may cover the recurrence survey, preliminary survey, location survey, and then detailed survey. Then in this slide we are going to see the different stages of engineering surveys. There are 4 stages of engineering survey as mentioned earlier, that is, it should include the map study, then the recurrence survey, then preliminary survey, and final location and detailed survey. In the map study, generally it is a kind of topographic map of an area so as to suggest the possible route of the roads. The main features like river, hills, valleys, etc. are also shown in the map. By careful study of such maps, it is possible to have an idea of several alternative routes of the road. Then the next, the details from the map. So whenever we refer the map in order to get the information for the surveying purpose, then alignment avoiding valleys, ponds or lakes should be considered in the map. And also in hills, possibility of crossing through a mountain pass and approximate location of bridge site for crossing rivers should be selected. Even alternative route with permissible gradient is to be selected from the map. Then during the recurrence survey, it is a second stage of survey and used to examine general character of the area for deciding the most feasible route for the detailed study. A field surveyor may inspect a fairly broad sketch of land along the proposed alternative route of the map in the field. And following are the objectives which are to be considered while doing the recurrence survey. The objectives are to obtain general knowledge of the entire territory. Similarly, to obtain specific information of silent features of the area, such as nala location, river location, etc., etc. and to collect the information about the soil type along the route, and to collect information about sources of construction material. So these are the important objectives for the reconnaissance survey. Then the next type of survey we are going to carry after reconnaissance survey is preliminary survey, and the objectives are to conduct the survey for alternative alignments purpose after reconnaissance, and to compare the different proposals in view of the requirement of good alignment. Also, the survey is to be carried out to collect necessary physical information and details of topography, drainage and soil, and to estimate the quality of earthwork materials. The preliminary survey is to be carried out. After objective of preliminary survey, we are trying to see what are the different procedures to be considered while conducting the preliminary survey. First is primary traverse. In the primary traverse, the first step in the primary traverse is to establish the traverse following the line recommendation in the reconnaissance. Then the second step is topographic features. All geographic and all other man-made features along the transverse and for a certain width are surveyed and plotted. Then leveling work. Leveling work is also carried out side by side to give the center line profile and typical cross section along the alignment. Next is drainage studies and hydrological data. In this, the drainage investigation and hydrological data are collected so as to estimate the type, number and approximate sizes of cross drainage structures. Then the soil survey. It is essential part of preliminary survey, and by help of this, final location is being decided. Then the material survey. This survey is done for naturally occurring materials like stone aggregate and identification of suitable quarries for finding the leads while considering the estimate. This is very important. Then traffic survey. This survey is conducted in the region for deciding the number of traffic lanes and roadway width, pavement design and economic analysis of highway project. Then next is determination of final center line. After completing the preliminary survey and conducting the comparative studies of alternative alignments, the final center line of road is to be decided before the final location survey. In the final location and detailed survey, the alignment finalized after the preliminary survey, then detailed survey is carried out for the preparation of plans and construction details. The location survey is carried out in two stages. First is on paper location, second is field location. So generally in the on paper location, the final route is put on the drawing and details such as gradient, radius of curve, etc. are marked clearly. Whereas in case of field location, one paper location is transferred to the field within the help of transit light and precise level. Nowadays, the help of the GPS has been taken in order to ensure whether we have reached to a perfect point or not. By making use of GPS, it is possible to go to the location where the alignment starts. Then the detailed survey. Temporary benchmarks are fixed at the interval up to 50 meters. Vertical alignment, earthwork and drainage details are worked out from level notes. Then a detailed soil survey is carried out and profile is established. And work on all rivers and valleys are surveyed in detail to find the considerable distance on either sides. Then after that, the drawing required for highway project, they are key plan, then the index map, preliminary survey plans, detailed plans, longitudinal section, cross section, land acquisition plans and drawing of road intersection. In the key map, it shows how actually the project has to be done. This map shows proposed and existing roads and the important places to be connected. The size of map should not exceed 240 by 330 mm, that is having A4 size. Scale should be chosen depending upon the area. And then index map. It shows how actually highway project look like. It shows the general topography of the area. Details are symbolically represented in this particular map. Then the size of map should not exceed 240 by 330 mm. That is, it should have A4 size. The usual scale used for preparing the index map should be 1 cm equal to 0.5 km. In this slide we are going to see the preliminary survey plans. In this particular plan shows details of various alternative alignments. It shows all the information collected during preliminary survey. Its size from 240 by 330 mm, that is should be have A4 size, to 880 by 1230 mm, that is A010. Scale generally considered is 10 cm equal to 1 km. Then the detail plan. It shows ground plan with alignment and boundaries, contour at interval 1 to 2 meter in plain country and 3 to 6 in hilly areas. The size of drawing may be 625 by 880 mm. It should also have the existing structures, rivers, physical features, and they should be represented by making use of symbols. Then longitudinal section. The longitudinal section, that generally we are going to call it as a L section, should be drawn to a horizontal scale of 1:2000 and vertical scale of 1:2000. The level should be taken at 50 meter interval for plain and rolling terrain, at 25 interval for hilly terrain. The L section should have information like changes, horizontal and vertical alignment, datum level, ground level, formation level, depth of cutting, depth of filling, position of cross roads, etc. Then cross sections. The cross section should be drawn at a scale of 1 cm equal to 2 to 2.5 meter. It should be drawn in every 100 meter or where abrupt changes in levels are observed. We should include cross section number, the reduced distances and the area of cutting and filling. In hill roads, cross section should be drawn at closer intervals. Then the land acquisition plan. It shows the land acquisition details, general details like buildings, well, nature of gradient and other details required for assessing the values. The scale adopted may be 1 cm equal to 40 meter or less. The drawing of road intersection should be prepared showing all details of pavement, island, etc. Then the soil survey. It is essential part of preliminary survey, and by help of this final location is being decided. Then the material survey. This survey is done for naturally occurring materials like stone aggregate and identification of suitable quarries for finding the leads while considering the estimate. This is very important. Then traffic survey. This survey is conducted in the region for deciding the number of traffic lanes and roadway width, pavement design and economic analysis of highway project. Then next is determination of final center line. After completing the preliminary survey and conducting the comparative studies of alternative alignments, the final center line of road is to be decided before the final location survey. So in this slide we are going to see how to locate the bridge pier. The procedure for locating a bridge pier is as follows. Please refer the figure 14.3. First step is the center line AB of the bridge is ranged by setting a theodolite at A, and two stroud pegs are fixed at T1 and T2 on line AB as shown in the figure. Then the effective length of bridge S1, S2 is determined by triangulation or by the stadia method. The number of spans and the bridges of each are theoretically ascertained and plotted in a plan. The baseline is C is taken perpendicular to the centerline AB. The distance AC is accurately measured by inverted. Then on the plan, points S1 and S2 represent the center of abutments, and points P1 and P2 are the center of PS. The distances AS1 is measured accurately by inverted. From the effective width of bridge, the width of span S1 P1, P1 P2 and P2 S2 are ascertained. Then the angles theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 and theta 4 are calculated as follows. Then the next type of survey we are going to carry after recurrence survey is preliminary survey, and the objectives are to conduct the survey for alternative alignments purpose after reconnaissance, and to compare the different proposals in view of the requirement of good alignment. Also, the survey is to be carried out to collect necessary physical information and details of topography, drainage and soil, and to estimate the quality of earthwork materials. The preliminary survey is to be carried out. This slide refers to the plan of culvert and the wing walls, where x1, x2 and O, these are the points lying on the center of the culvert, and two walls which are showing the culvert and the wing walls parallel to them. Then the next, the details from the map. So whenever we refer the map in order to get the information for the surveying purpose, then alignment avoiding valleys, ponds or lakes should be considered in the map, and also in hills possibility of crossing through a mountain pass and approximate location of bridge site for crossing rivers should be selected. Even alternative route with permissible gradient is to be selected from the map. Then while setting the culvert, we have to do the procedure as given below. The axis, that is x-axis1, that is centerline, and y-1 are set out with O as origin. Along the line OX1, points 1, 2, 3 and 4 are marked at a distances x1, x2, x3 and x4 from the origin. Now along OY, points 1, 2, 3 and 4 are marked at a distances y1, y2, y3 and y4 from O. Now two tapes are taken with zero ends together and held at P1 by the overseer in such a way that when two assistants hold them fully stretched at 1 and 1 dash, the readings are exactly equal to y1 and x1, that is P1 into 1 equal to y1 and P1 into 1 dash equal to x1. Then the point P1 is marked with the stout pegs. Similarly, the other pegs are fixed at P2, P3 and P4. The pegs for the right half are fixed according to the data available from the data prepared for the left half. The culvert is symmetrical about the center line x-1, so the other half can be easily set out. Then the next type of survey we are going to carry after recurrence survey is preliminary survey, and the objectives are to conduct the survey for alternative alignments purpose after reconnaissance, and to compare the different proposals in view of the requirement of good alignment. Also, the survey is to be carried out to collect necessary physical information and details of topography, drainage and soil, and to estimate the quality of earthwork materials. The preliminary survey is to be carried out. After getting the data necessary for bridge location, we have to do the field survey, and in the field survey the highway alignment is finalized in a highway project. For that, the engineering surveys are to be carried out, and these surveys are carried out in 4 stages. The first 3 stages consider. Thank you, friends.